Let's move on to this story now. The Ombudsman for long-term insurance and the Ombudsman for short-term insurance together put almost 400 million back in the hands of consumers who had complained in the past financial year. We've got Edite Teixeira-Mckinnon, who's the Chief Executive Officer of short-term insurance, Ombud, who joins me now to talk more about some of the trends highlighted in this report. Thank you very much for your time this evening. Let's start with that 400 million rand combined that was returned to customers that had complained. What were some of the reasons that their claims were being rejected in the first place?
There are a variety of reasons depending on the type of complaint to our office. With motor vehicle insurance complaints, claims rejected on the basis of the driver failing to exercise due care and precaution, allegations of speeding. There are theft and hijack claims with regards to commercial insurance, it's commercial buildings, or motor vehicles that, that insureds are not complying with the policy terms and conditions. With contents claims, it's a power surge causing damage to appliances and equipment. So there are a host of reasons why complainants come to our office, but predominantly as a result of claims that are rejected by insurers.
No, absolutely. Did you find in the period that there were some valid reasons by insurers to reject some of the claims that had been made by claimants?
Absolutely. In the majority of cases, we uphold the insurer's stance. It's only in the minority of cases that we actually find for the complainant, and that's in line with international Ombud trends as well.
Yeah, let's talk about the understanding of claimants of their insurance policies. Do you find that a lot of people don't read through their policy documents clearly enough in that they would understand what would be allowed and what wouldn't be allowed in any claiming instance? Or do you find that South Africans generally have a clear understanding of the product offering that they're getting from insurers?
No, I don't think they have a clear understanding. So there's an obligation on insurers when a policy is taken out by an insurer to go through the concise details and highlight the more important features of the policy, but there's definitely no obligation to go through every single term and condition of the policy, and it's up to the policy holder to then go through that policy, and policy holders don't. Until there is a claim, they don't actually realize what they're covered for, what they're not covered for.
No, of course, and of course these the money that you were able to get to complainants is quite a big amount given the fact that we are in the advent of the pandemic.
So it's interesting you raise that question. Of the amount we recovered, there's quite a big portion, around 97 million, which insurers actually paid out on the business interruption complaints or claims after the court judgments were handed down. The insurers had taken this matter to court on the policy interpretation of the causal link between the COVID-19 imposed lockdown regulations and the interruption to business. And as soon as the courts handed down those judgments, the insurers decided to settle those claims and complaints that were already in our office. So credit goes to the industry in that regard for the 97 million that they settled without the office having to make any formal decisions.
I'm glad you bring up those court cases that we reported on during that period, because my final question to you is going to be, do you find that short-term insurance need to look at the policy offerings and perhaps create a little bit more flexibility for their clients? Given the pandemic, we had the violent unrest this year, last year, we've got the floods currently. There are a whole host of events, and I'm just wondering if insurers shouldn't perhaps be looking at their product offerings and kind of maybe adjusting to the current times.
I think they do that on an ongoing basis, but I think the industry has also been hard hit by many disasters, and they have to also conserve their reserves, and they have to align, and when they're looking at claims, they need to validate those in line with policy terms and conditions. Otherwise, what happens is the premiums become unaffordable for most people, and then you're not going to have an insured population. You're going to end up with more and more individuals who are not insured and who then open themselves up to more financial difficulties.
No, absolutely. Thank you very much for your time this evening. That's Edite Teixeira-Mckinnon, who is the Chief Executive Officer of the Short-Term Insurance Ombud. With that,